नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है. वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है. Me and my brother Vinod are here to discuss hot takes. He's got a newspaper in his hand. I have not looked at it today morning. It's the Economic Times and he's going to quiz me on it. Go ahead, Vinod.
Records stumble as bulls lead in market relief rally. Nifty closes above 20K for the first time. Sensex marks intra-trade over 67.
And this must be a older paper then.
This is Thursday, 14 September, and today is 14 September.
But at 20,000 it has crossed before.
Yeah, and this seems to be the headlines. Yes, print is really taking time to report news.
So anyway, this is the way we do things by looking back at the mirror. The day before what happened had basically the action was away from the mid cap. It was away from the large first top 50 stocks. In fact, a report said the top 50 stocks had lost only 60,000 crores in value, and the other stocks outside the top 50 had lost more than 5 lakh crores. And yesterday, of course, there was a relief rally in the mid cap and the small cap, and that started to rally. It is not there here, but the reason for the crack was, this is up very much in Twitter. You can go look at Twitter. Twitter seems to have better idea of what is happening in the market. What Twitter says is a large foreign bank found some discrepancy in the way its dealers were working. They were doing front running. Front running is the fund manager and dealer are in cohorts, and they release the news that this fund is going to buy this stock before. And so they buy that stock. There's an immediate jump in the price of that stock, and then they make a quick profit.
Correct.
Once this was discovered, the fund decided to take no chances and it liquidated its entire position and that fund was liquidated. And because that fund was liquidated was why there was a big crash in the mid cap and the small cap space. That shows that our one fund cannot exist profitably here. A lot of mid cap and large cap mid cap and small cap stocks corrected deeply on Tuesday. On Wednesday, there was a recovery. But also, you should understand that Kotak Mahindra brokers said they will not provide any advisory and any recommendations on mid-cap and small-cap stocks because they find the price cannot be justified. The price rise is too much and there needs to be a correction, and therefore, they are not going to recommend any stock or any stock recommendation in both mid-cap and small-cap. This is Kotak Institutional Investors, which is a certified research firm of SEBI.
Continuing on this, as 3.6 million new account registration for SIP MF plans in August, much above the average 2.2 over the past 2 years. Market hot, India SIPs up a record.
So this is being sold primarily by both online and offline, and people like Zerodha have got into the action, and then there is a huge IFA army which is selling. So what they are doing is they are selling mutual fund with a SIP, and there is also an advertisement by the mutual fund organization by Tendulkar, Dhoni and others that mutual fund sahi hai. In normal conditions, mutual fund sahi hai, but when the market is so heated and already overheated, if you are doing SIP, especially in an active fund, what happened, as I told you, in the case of the broker, in the case of a foreign bank, can happen to you. It also happened in Axis Bank, though Axis Bank did not liquidate the fund. So there have been 3 cases. One was this bank which nobody is naming right now. Then there was Axis Bank which SEBI pulled up, and there was Franklin Templeton, where its mutual funds, debt funds were doing things which they were not supposed to do. Luckily, the entire money of the client was recovered. So this is a very difficult thing to keep putting SIP when the market is extremely high and allowing the fund manager to make decisions.
So it's just good times for Coffee Day Anand. IndusInd withdraws insolvency plea against Coffee Day Global. Both parties inform NCLAT out-of-court deal. Lenders signs loan to ARC, sending shares of the parent into upper circuit. So are the tough times behind?
No. See, Coffee Day is, I have already discussed this in a full video in Hindi. It will come out in Hindi in a couple of days. But in English, if I have to tell you, this is Coffee Day Global, which is a subsidiary of Coffee Day. Siddhartha committed suicide in 2019 and we are now in the 4th year. And Malvika Hegde, his wife, has been continuously working to turn around this company. And she has been trying to systematically bring debt. She has cut down cost, closed down unprofitable stores, and slowly streamlining it. You should also understand, Coffee Day is a major exporter to Europe and Japan, and one of the largest exporters of coffee. So its fundamental business is safe. But what Siddhartha had done is borrowed in the market and invested in real estate, in a IT park, in hospitality and other things. She's been trying to sell these assets at the right price and bring down the debt so that the company can perform. So she succeeded some, she's not succeeded in some. On March 22nd, as of March 22nd, the total debt in her company was 960 crores. She has to bring it down. This is a 68 crore loan for which the settlement has been signed and it has gone to an ARC. The bigger, there is a bond default for 228 crores. And the bondholders have now filed a insolvency petition. If she solves that and that gets resolved, that is when the company will be really on a strong footing.
What do you think about this? RBI cracks the whip on delayed return of collateral documents, warns lenders of 5,000 rupee per day penalty. Once a loan is fully paid, lender have to return the property documents to the borrower within 30 days, says the RBI circular.
Most borrowers, most lenders don't keep the property papers themselves. It is stored in a storage, in a third-party storage. For them to bring it back is a bureaucratic exercise. So as soon as the property is settled, loan is settled, no lender allows you to settle the loan. They put all sign, in spite of RBI's directions, they put all sorts of fines and try to urge you not to settle. Even after that, if you settle, there is a delay in getting back your document. What RBI is saying is it gives 30 days time for you to get back the document after settling the form. So 30 days down the line, if you do not get the loan, RBI is threatening to bark, but it needs to bite.
Short-end bond yields may stay elevated on likely fiscal slippage. As Finance Minister prepares for the interim budget early next year, government bond traders are contending with growing possibility of centre overshooting its fiscal gap, and the threshold due to evolving tax revenue trends are likely to a higher spending in poll-bound nation. Weakness in tax revenue.
Basically, what it says is, so far the direct tax collection has not been near the target. Inflation has helped and GST is doing well. But even GST, after refunds, may not reach the target levels it is supposed to reach. So the tax revenues are not going to grow. But this year is an election year. The government will have to spend more. And the government is not likely to meet its disinvestment target with LIC and all that turning to be a dumb squib. So the government may need to borrow more than what it budget. And RBI, even with RBI's support, the market feels absorbing that debt is a problem. Therefore, short-term interest rates in Indian markets will be higher, which is among expected lines. Even though RBI is not raising rates, rising inflation means that rates are going to be elevated for some time, because inflation, though it came down from 7.4 at 6.83, is definitely elevated.
Malaysian PM says Goldman Sachs must renegotiate a 1 MDB settlement. It says they should not be taken advantage of. Under the 2020 settlement, Goldman was supposed to pay Malaysia 2.5 billion for its role in the scandal. They want to renegotiate. What do you think the effects on Goldman Sachs will be?
Because this is settlement was signed by the previous regime, and their new prime minister has come.
Correct.
Who has been in 25 years in opposition,
Yes.
who was wrongly charged of several crimes which he did not commit, and spent a lot of time in jail. And his opponent, who is now in jail, and his son-in-law indulged in corruption. IMD is actually the Malaysian sovereign fund.
Yes.
And they produced movies like Wolf on Wall Street, and all that was funded by that. There was a major scam, and the Prime Minister's family enriched themselves. So this case settlement was negotiated immediately with the next Prime Minister for a deal of $2.5 billion to settle all claims. Now the new guy says that the old claim is not tenable. You have to resettle. So this will go into litigation, and Goldman Sachs may have to cough up more money.
US consumer inflation ticks up in August on gasoline prices. The consumer index price of US jumped 3.7% from a year ago, picking up pace from July's 3.2%.
So last year, the total inflation was 3.2.
Yes.
That is last month. And this month it has increased higher because oil prices are on the boil.
Correct.
And even food prices are 0.2 up.
Correct.
So this 2% goal is a long way off. More worryingly, core inflation, that is inflation which strips fuel and food, has also ticked up. So even if Jerome Powell decides to skip now, it looks more likely that come in November he will increase interest rates. But more than that, it is very clear that there are not rate cuts are not in the annual for the next 6 months at least. I think it will be at least next 12 months before you can have rate cuts.
Huge price gap in grey market for iPhone 15 Pro models in India. The price difference over 35,000 rupees for the more expensive iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max models in India compared to other countries such as UAE, Thailand, and US.
So this I wanted to discuss with you. We'll do it on Money Page on Sunday.
Okay.
But it is because of the government duty structures. It is it's cheaper to buy iPhones and bring it back. So every flight from Dubai and US will a lot of iPhone 15s will come.
Correct.
Because the gap is about 20 to 30 to 35,000. It makes it very attractive to smuggle it.
Well, those are Anand's hot takes for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Please do subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notification. And here's Anand signing off.
Thank you, and I enjoyed doing this. अगर आपने इस वीडियो को देखा, आपको पसंद आया, आप इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए और अपना कमेंट्स नीचे लिखिए. आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन भी दबाएं. अगर आपको इस चैनल पसंद है तो इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने के लिए आग्रह करें. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद. I told you that I will be in Riyadh on the 22nd of September. The event place was not fixed. The team has now decided the event. It's in the Holiday Inn Riyadh. Those who are in and around Riyadh and desirous of meeting me may contact the WhatsApp address below or the email. My team would get in touch with you.